Joining us with some solutions to this conflict, early show contributor Dr. Jennifer Hartstein. She is a child and adolescent psychologist. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, there's a lot to talk about here.
So much to talk about.
There's a lot of examples where I think grandparents go too far. But I have to admit that sometimes parents take advantage of grandparents. I've done it with my mom. Mom, I need you to watch the kids.
Right.
Not, Mom, will you please watch the kids?
Right, and we don't respect each other's boundaries. That's such an important piece. We don't ask. We make assumptions and have expectations that may not be fair of the grandparents. And we just decide, well, you love your grandchildren, just make it happen.
Exactly right. We don't realize they have their own lives and they can't drop everything just for their grandkids, right?
They do. It'd be nice for them to want to, or maybe to be able to, but maybe they work, maybe they have other obligations. You need to ask the question.
Okay, a lot of tension is caused by communication breakdowns. You're just not on the same page. How do you avoid that?
You're not on the same page. Things are different than maybe when your parents parented you. There are new things we know, there are new challenges. So you may really have to explain to your parents why you're making the choices you are. Provide information, provide research, provide the reading so they can understand why you're doing what you're doing.
But often you say all that and they ignore it because
They
they feel like it is their right. They have earned this right. And I don't know why grandparents think this, to spoil their children. So they give the kid candy all day long and then here, now she's going back to your house.
It is true. And I have spoken to my parents about this and they say, look, you know, we get to indulge them. This is our time. We raised you, gave you all the rules. It's our time for indulgence. And you know, there is truth to that within reason. And it's important to communicate, to be able to not have those breakdowns, to be able to say, look, there's a limit. I need you to respect what the limits are and not undermine me in any way.
But there are some examples where they shouldn't be undermining you. If you have different parenting styles, don't they have to respect yours?
Have to is a very strong word. We would like them to, certainly.
You have to, Mom.
It would be nice if they would. And I think, again, when there's a conflict, you need to go back to them and say, look, this happened. It's really important to me that it happens this way. I really need you to respect how I'm doing it. You did a great job raising me. Trust that I'm also going to do a great job raising your grandchildren.
You also suggest getting together with your spouse and discussing the role that each grandparent should play. Why is that important?
And you should do that before you even have kids. Because you want to be able to know what to do early. It's important because your husband may want his parents there all the time, and maybe that's not what you want. And you may want your parents there all the time, and maybe that's not what he wants. So you want to come up with a balance of what's going to work for everybody so that everybody's on the same page and working together to be the best parents and grandparents.
In a perfect world, you want to agree, but that can be tough.
And you're not always going to be. You also want to have conversations with the grandparents about what your expectations are of them, how much you really want them to be involved, special time created for them, so that everybody, again, and that's an ongoing, we talk about this all the time, ongoing conversations. It's going to change as the kids change in age and all of that stuff.
No matter how many conversations you have, it's not going to be perfect, and you're still going to have battles. How do you pick your battles?
Choose what's really important to you. If it's not really a big deal if they get that extra popsicle at grandma's house, even though you won't do it at your house, that's okay, and let that happen.
And you say we should compromise, but ultimately, who should be compromising more?
We all have to work at it together. I think at the end of the day,
you're not giving me even one.
No, well, at the end of the day, you're the parent, and it's your kids. So I think grandparents need to take a little bit of a step back and recognize that you're going to make good choices. If they trained you well, they're going to make good choices too.
And most parents, I think, most grandparents are going to be great. But let's say there's the rare example where you're really on different pages, you've tried communicating, you've tried everything. What's the last resort? Well,
the last resort is to set very clear boundaries and limits, and we hope you never have to cut the grandparents out because they're so important, but that may be ultimately what you have to do if it's just so egregious that you can't find a balance.
That would be sad.
Yes.
Dr. Jennifer Hartstein, thank you.